And let's hear from our first mentor. She has earned more than 30 plus sales director and national sales director trips. She's a self-proclaimed joyologist, happiest country girl in the world that loves to hunt and fish.
Yep.
She is totally head over heels in love with her husband and her Mary Kay business. Introducing none other than Inner Circle Independent Senior National Sales Director, Cindy Williams, teaching Building Offspring. Cindy?
Yay, thank you. Thank you, MK Corp, for trusting Lene and I this morning with your most successful, most important leaders in the entire company. Over 400 of you that are on today that have already achieved something most will never achieve. Do you guys realize most consultants never get their first team member, and most directors never have an offspring? So I want you to just drink in how special you are. You took Mary Kay's assignment to pass it on, even though it comes with a lot of, I would even say anxiety sometimes to pass it on. So my first message this morning is my goal is just to expose other people to what I love, what I believe in. What I believe is simply the best product on the planet, in my opinion, and simply the best career opportunity on earth. That's my joy in my job, my self-proclaimed joyologist. And when I expose them, then from there, it's up to them. I am no savior. I'm a soldier. And I heard Mary Kay when she said, the greatest and only way to lead is by example. By example, by example. So my whole Mary Kay, almost 40 years now, it's just crazy hard to believe. Next month I turned 65, but I was only 25 when I started. So all of you youngsters out there, just know we were once young. And it's like, oh my goodness, looking back, I know my greatest joy and my only job is to love and to lead. And that just simplifies all of this. And I have just been so sleepless and excited to share with you this morning, because I know there won't be many windows left in my Mary Kay career to share. I become an emeriti January 1, which I'm excited about. Every season of my life, I embrace. I believe all things work together for good. And I will tell you, I loved being an independent Mary Kay beauty consultant. I tapped it out. I'm wearing my Ladder of Success pin because it's part of my journey. We all have a different journey. We're all a different sprinkle on the cupcake, you guys. So embrace your uniqueness. I say DNA stands for do not argue. Your creator made you like you are on purpose with all your quirkiness. And I've said a million times, I can't seem to shake off my issues. So I just say, come on, issues, let's go book a party. Come on, issues, let's go find another leader. And I really, truly shake off the past. That's one of my gifts. I really claim, I have an affirmation that I'm unoffendable. That is not true. I am actually easily hurt because I have a desire so strongly to connect with people and to make a difference. And when you put your heart out there on a platter, you give people permission to step on it. But by God's grace and my grit, somehow with my affirmations and my decision to become undisappointable, that whatever happens, I can learn and grow. I can become bitter or better, victim or victor. And I have this little statue I hold up all the time because we have to choose victory. Well, we don't have to. The same thing can happen to two people. One person will wipe them out. The next person will, quote, make him a man. So those of you that have already had offspring directors, you have already chosen the path of resistance. You've chosen the road less traveled by. And I salute you for that. And this morning, as I rose early to prepare, grab one of my devotional things. You know, it's vital that we pour into our minds every day. I call my shower the healing waters. Every day I've got to wash away yesterday and forget the past. Dean, my husband, says all the time, baby, the rear view mirror is little and the windshield is big. Quit looking back, because I want to look back and think of what I could have, should have done, and my inadequacies. And maybe if I'd have done something a little different, that person would have seen a different vision, and that my lack caused them to not have the possibilities. And that is WOT, waste of time. Every day in every way, you do your very best. And that's all we can do. And we are figuring it out forward. So I just want to give all of you that are listening a gift, my 3 platforms of how I got here and have stayed here is number one, I guard my heart. It's the wellspring of life. Number one of everything I do, I guard my heart. That's not easy. Number two, I gain wisdom. Though it costs me all I have, I gain understanding, studying, reading, searching, surrounding myself with a great circle of influence, which is the greatest gift of this career, in my opinion. The greatest gift. We will become like the people that we are surrounded by. So when you move up the career path to future executive, to elite, and I pray to NSD, or you find an NSD. Some of you may be over the age of becoming a national sales director. Does it really matter who gets credit for what? Really, at the end of the day, go find a national. Go mentor someone that's not even in your area. Pass it on, because that's really all that matters. But I just want you to realize that it is a journey. And honestly, I have lost, quote, more sales directors than I have. And that is part of it. I don't feel bad about that. I let them ride the race with me. I expose them. That's my word. Expose them to what I love, what they do with it. That is up to them. Yes, some of them, I almost made them a sales director. That's okay. You can't make people weak. They're already weak. You can only make them stronger and better by exposing them to loving and leading. And how do I lead? I just show them how I work. You know, get in the car, get on the Zoom, watch me do it. Watch me sell, micellar water. Watch me be sold out on this product, completely faithful for 40 years. No other brand has touched the skin, okay? And that living it more is caught than it is taught. And so I went through all the people that have been a part of my life for the last 40 years, the sales directors that are here and those that are not. And it's like, oh my goodness, it's so interesting that how many people have been a part of this journey. And I salute that. I exposed them and took them on a ride that they would have never had. And what they learn from us, they will keep forever. That's the gift. You just keep passing it on. We're not in control of what happens. It's the parable of the sower, not the seed. This seed is good. Mary Kay founded this company on the principles of faith, family, career, and living and working by the golden rule, giving us an opportunity she had never been given, wanting for us so much to have an opportunity to do and be and have anything we wanted if we were willing to, quote, pay the price. And I will tell you, for me personally, it has been enjoyed the journey. Yes, I've cried a river of tears, and I'll probably cry some more, because growth comes with some tears. It comes with some pain, like the caterpillar breaking out of the little shell to become the butterfly. It is through that we grow and become, I believe, all God intended us to be. So Mary Kay is quite famous for saying the words, nothing happens until somebody sells. But thank you to Samantha Cortez, beautiful director in Corpus Christi. She taught us, you don't just sell the cream, you got to sell the dream. I'd never heard that before. And I just thought that is so true. And that's what we are doing. Those of you in this class today, you are selling the dream, selling the opportunity you were given. And I thought back, and sometimes I forget, I was a DIQ. And my first year as a sales director, I spun off 2 offsprings. I broke a company record as an independent new DIQ. And then Judy broke my record. Judy didn't stay. Mary Durr, is my personal team member, new national sales director. She was a new consultant in my DIQ time. My cousin from Arizona that I barely knew, but I was looking for people. When you have a goal, you see everybody through new eyes. You're looking for a player. This coach needed a player. And so I reached out to Mary. She became a sales director my very first year. She went on to become an NSD. Judy didn't stay, and she was the record breaker too. So it's so interesting to think that through. So from DIQ to becoming an independent sales director, my first year as a sales director, we did $400,000 unit club my first year. And that story is complicated because my husband was in the hospital. I left my unit in Louisiana, moved to Texas. I didn't really see my unit for an entire year, but the momentum I built in 3 months from DIQ with 10, 3 months later, we had over 50 as a brand new sales director. That momentum carried us through for an entire year, and we built 2 first-line offspring sales director, one which stayed with me. The next 2 years, we did 0 club, 0 club. And I want y'all to hear that, because I know if you're in this position, you've had some disappointments. And you may have had some times when you thought, wow, what's wrong with me? Or can I really do it? Or is it worth it? I know what that feels like. But I've said my whole career, give me a recommitted person any day over a committed person. When you can fall down and get back up again, that shows who you really are. And on my desk is a little plaque that says, character is revealed in adversity, not created. Character is revealed in adversity, not created. And so I did 400 my first year. The next 2 years, zero club. It doesn't really matter what the circumstances are. Life happens. Life isn't fair. It isn't easy, but it's not what happens. It's how we deal with it. Do we rise up and learn and grow and get better? Or do we sit down and think, oh my gosh, how did all this happen to me? But I decided, okay, I can rise up. So I went from over 100 unit members to less than 30 in that season of my life. January 1, that next year, I had a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I went to work January 1. And I want y'all to hear this. What can happen in just a few months, especially for those of you that have already had success? Remember, I had already had success. You have too. I'd had huge loss and failure. Quote, I think it's figuring it out forward, not failing forward. Thank you, Gina Beck, for giving me those words. But it was deciding I can take this wisdom and see what I can do next. And then we went from zero club. The next year, we earned the top director trip. So that's part of my message to you. I just want to encourage you. The windshield is big. The rear view mirror is little. And my devotion today, that's exactly what it said. I thought, let me go look and see what it says for today. And it says, the key is forgetting those things which are behind in order to reach the higher calling. To fulfill our calling, we must forget that which lies behind. Probably the most common stronghold on a person's life is their past mistakes and failures. Today is the day to begin to shake it off from the past and to move forward. The past is the past. It has no life. And I thought, oh my gosh, that was the message that I felt that I was supposed to give to you. Another thing that stays on my desk, which is one of the classes, developing leaders, all I know that is I can lead by example, shake it off, and keep moving forward. To find the few that'll find the many to find the few. Most of the women, many are on this call. I have an amazing leadership team, 13 years Inner Circle. I mean, the top director trip in the industry trip every year but one since 1987. We have tapped it out. I love being a consultant, tapped it out. I loved being a sales director. I hope you're tapping it out. I loved being a sales director. I was a director for, I think, 16 years. I loved it. So enjoy the journey. Bloom where you're planted. Don't be so busy looking down the road that you forget today. Bum Phillips is the coach of the Houston Oilers years ago, and he said, winning is only half of it. The other half is having fun. I was like, yes. So to sell your position, you really want to enjoy the journey. If they feel the price is so high, they won't want the career. And when you're so amazing and talented and perfect, who can follow that? I believe that we have such an amazing national area, such a diverse national area, is because they can follow me. If you simplify, you will simply fly. And I give them permission to run their race. I think they're smarter, better than I ever was. And that's our prayer for our children, that our children grow up to be better, independent, fly. We're independently interdependent. And that's the way I see our national area, which now is 3 national areas. We call it the Victory Family because Tammy and Mary have become NSDs. It's like it's just a miracle. It's too good to be true. But it is true when you live in those dreams. So another quote that sits on my desk that's served me well is, only when the individuals on a team are empowered to achieve their goals will the team achieve its goals. So truly, when you help other people find what they want, that's when you find what you want. And so it's vital. It's vital for you to continue to pour belief in yourself to every day. Take that shower. I call them baptismal waters. They flow over me. Even when I don't need one, I get in there, rinse off, and I renew, revive, restore. I don't look back too often because I had a colorful childhood, a very painful past, and I get sad. And I don't look forward too far because I get afraid. Cindy Williams is not that. I'm not a visionary, but I am obedient to today. And that has served me well. You take care of the minutes, the hours will take care of themselves. And I do have an ability. I have a little box, a little silver box over there call it my prayer box. And I just put my problems in the box in the morning. I really do. And I come back to them because I can't take them with me, or I can't be the abundant person God's called me to be. I would live in all the other things. So compartmentalize. And that is a gift that I probably learned as a child. There was a lot of chaos in my home. And Disney used to come on Sunday nights at 6 o'clock when I was a little girl. And Tinkerbell would fly onto the screen. Some of you are too young to know this, but when I was a kid, she would fly onto the screen and she would touch the screen 3 times with her magic wand. And these colors would block out everything. All you saw was the 3 colors. And as a little girl, I thought, oh my gosh, I can do that. And when there was chaos, I would close my eyes, touch my mind 3 times, and all I could see was the pretty colors. And I do that today. When life is happening, COVID, chaos, the world, pain, fear, I can block it out. And that's how you become a joyologist. It's not that the world is not really full of all of that. It's that I choose to live in my own world. My perception is my reality. Another one of my favorite quotes that served me well as a builder of leaders is, an army of sheep led by a lion would defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. That is powerful. It's an old proverb. An army of sheep led by a lion will defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. Your leadership is vital. If it wasn't, Mary Kay Ash would not have had directors or national sales directors. It would just be a big old company where we had a product. And yes, do I sell the mother load of Mary Kay? I do. Star Consultant over 100 times. I'm already a star this quarter, and I'm an Inner Circle national sales director. I can't help myself. I love the product. I love to share it. I love to sell it. I love the fact that I teach this, because people are often uncomfortable with being in sales or whatever. The word sell, one of the meanings, the root meaning of sele, is to give. Before there was monetary money, I would give you my corn, you give me your eggs. So I believe when I sell, I'm giving you me. I pop out of the bottle. I'm like Genie in the bottle. I service. The one-time sell means nothing to me. I want you to use the products to get benefits from it. I want you to use it forever and ever. I want to build a sustainable, residual business. And when you have that feeling with your customer, with your consultant, with your sales directors, they feel that from us. And then what they choose to do with it, stick with the product, stick with the career, then that's up to them. God chooses willing vessels, not brimming vessels. And I was no brimming vessel when I was discovered. I was really kind of a hot mess. Jackie Swank found me in Leesville, Louisiana at age 25. Matthew was 10 months old, and there was just a stirring in my spirit. There had to be more to life. I didn't know what more looked like. I would have been voted least likely to succeed. And I know you see myself and Lene and these national sales directors. So you're going to hear from some of the new national sales directors, and you see them as women like, oh my goodness, y'all, we are about as common and simple. We may look good and try to look our best and be our best for the world. And for Mary Kay, we want to suit up and show up. But we are duplicatable, you guys, because we walk in our own strengths. And so I just pray that you don't become disappointed and you don't get weary in doing well, because at a proper time, you will reap a harvest. And I wanted to just share a little bit, because you think, okay, developing leaders, what does that look like? And so the real people, how did that work? Mary is a new Offspring National Sales Director. When I was at DIQ, I reached out to her about Mary Kay. I barely knew her. She's my first cousin's wife. My mom and dad divorced when I was 6 years old, and it's my first cousin through my dad's side. But when you are wanting to move up, you that want to move up in the career path, you look at people differently. You follow up. You pursue. Pushy is never confused with passionate to a wise person. And I love the scripture. When you teach a wise person, they lean in. Tell me more. When you teach a fool, they get mad. They pull back. They're blaming. So when someone perceives your passion as pushy, that's their problem. It's really not yours. A wise person will go, wow, you believe in that? You're passionate about that? It's like I try to never be cocky, but very confident. The lion and the lamb, finding that balance so that people say, wow, Cindy, what do you have in your temptation basket? Wow, Cindy, what's happening in your Mary Kay career business? It's the art of influence. It's a learned skill that you will enroll others softly in what you believe in, the product and the career path. And be clear, without a shadow of a doubt, I believe that becoming a national sales director is the greatest gift you can give yourself and all others, because the people you have to touch in the process of finding the goal, the coach is looking for the player, will not only change your life, but theirs. And then what they do with that is up to them. But Mary was someone that was in Arizona. I was a consultant, y'all. And I told her, if you get 3 new team members, I'll come and see you in Arizona. Then I prayed she wouldn't get them because I didn't know what to do with her. I didn't even know I'd never really flown on an airplane. But I think back at, wow, how wise was that? And then I went out there and all we did was hold parties all day. And she quickly moved into team leader. Then she became an independent sales director. And I think about Susan Moore. She's our three-peat. She'll be $1 million. Her unit will finish $1 million this month. Y'all all probably know her. She's quite famous. She was the #1 director in the whole country a couple of years ago. She was in San Angelo, Texas. And that's where Betty Lair, my first line sales director, is. How did I meet them? I moved to Texas from Louisiana. I didn't know a soul here. I built my business in Louisiana, had to start all over. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I didn't have a lead. I asked my mother-in-law, who do you know here? Who do you know? She gave me a name. 3 hours away. I went and did the facial. The girl said, I don't want to buy anything but I think my daughter would be good. I drove back, got a babysitter, drove back 3 hours, gave the daughter a facial. She said, I can't believe my mom would want to do this or what I want to do. I don't want to buy anything. I don't want to sell anything. 2 trips, 3 hours, babysitter, right? Early on in the business. And I went to my mother-in-law. I said, I need a better lead. You see the difference in confident, passionate? And she said, okay. So she gave me a good name. She first gave me names of people that wore makeup that she thought would fit the bill. Then she gave me the name of somebody she really loved, her sister-in-law. And Ida had a party and Betty Lair was sitting there and I recruited Betty. And Ida said, I know you are going to be pushy and we're farmers' wives and we don't wear makeup. And I said, I'm not going to be pushy. Please just let me come. And I served them. I was a servant leader. I only went there to serve them and they felt my heart. And Betty became a consultant. Now, Betty lives there. She's 3 hours away. So I had another consultant, like Ansel and Gretel. Wherever you go, you guys, to work, you plant seeds along the way and that drive. And then you follow up on the way back. And Susan Moore was someone that came from San Angelo, Texas. So I could go through all of them. Ginger Benedict, my director that's on today, Future National in Oklahoma. I sat on an airplane one time. I'm in the aisle. There's the aisle, a husband, a daughter, and a woman. I booked that daughter over there against the window. Now that is real. You got to be on a mission. And she lived in Oklahoma. And I went all the way to Oklahoma to hold a skincare class, which led me to Ginger and Cindy and Marlis. And this whole one quarter, I had 25 star consultants in Ada, Oklahoma from that lead. I could go back to all of them. Betty Maxwell was a customer. Her sister came with her one time to pick up product. And I looked at her, Betty, and Betty said, I don't want to sell Mary Kay, but my sister may. And her sister did. And I drove to go and work with them. Work with your people. I know Zoom is beautiful, but I'm going to tell you almost all of my success, I can't go through all the directors for time, has been because I connected. I put their babies to bed. I got to know their husbands. I patted their dogs, and I don't even love dogs. That's a whole nother story, but I love the one I'm with. And then when I'm gone, I'm gone. I'm no savior. I'm a soldier. I'm going to keep marching on. I will replace them. That doesn't make me hard and cold. That makes me warm and wonderful. Who am I to choose who really needs this? And if I get stuck in the past and the people that I quote lost, then I won't have the courage to keep connecting. You never know. Tomorrow could be the day you find the woman that changes her life, just like the starfish. Does it matter? It matters to that one. So keep the faith, keep your courage, never be disappointed. Decide that as your affirmation. You're unoffendable. Stay true to Mary Kay's philosophies. Nothing happens till somebody sells, but not just the cream. You got to sell the dream. Don't look back. Gain wisdom, though it costs you all you have, and pass it on. We're the only Bible some people will ever read, and we're the only Mary Kay some people will ever know. We are ambassadors. You're the leaders of the leaders. It is our joy and our job to represent Mary Kay with courage, with pride, with selflessness, to be servant leaders. And our greatest example of that is her. So reread her books, listen to her stories, understand why she was so committed and passionate, and what a privilege it is to call yourself independent Mary Kay beauty consultant, sales director, national sales director. And if you're over the age, shake that off. Go find a national. Go build people. Go keep passing it on, the products and the career opportunity, because you're making a difference in other people's lives. So it's a joy and a job. Thank you, Mary Kay, for trusting me with this audience. You're best of the best. And thank you for choosing Lene Tate to be my partner. I love her and respect her so much. And our friendships in Mary Kay will be for life. Don't forget that. I do retire January 1, but I'll never leave my friendships or my relationships that have been the greatest gift of all.